Hello, I'm Ian from Emotion Systems, and in this video I'm going to show some different workflows that can be applied to help complete a standardized workflow situation. So for the example I'm going to use, I'm assuming you have a default format for all your master files to be 8-channel MXFs. And the 8 channels will be split as 6 PCM channels for a 5.1 surround track, and the other 2 PCM channels to make up stereo track. Now if you have the file delivered exactly to the specification, then all you're going to want to do is some loudness compliance. I have a workflow here that would be used for loudness compliance to the R128 standard. On the left you can see we have an MXF file at the start of our workflow, split into the 2 tracks, the surround track and the stereo track. We do R128 loudness compliance and create a brand new MXF file with audio now compliant to R128. But despite having a master file format, there are times when something could be missing. Typically one of the tracks would be missing, and I have an example here of a similar file where the surround track is missing. So we have an 8-channel file, but we have stereo only and there's no surround on the first 6 channels. So in this case we might want to create the necessary channels from an Upmix. So we take the stereo that does exist, we do an Upmix, put the Upmix on the first 6 channels, and then again we're going to do loudness compliance to R128. And over on the right hand side we're going to create a brand new MXF file which now has stereo and the 5.1 that we've created. Alternatively, the stereo could be missing and the surround track is in place. If so, we have the opposite kind of a workflow. We have an 8-channel MXF file, nothing on channels 7 and 8, but we do have the surround channel on 1 to 6. So we do the loudness compliance on the surround, then we do a downmix to create the stereo, do loudness compliance on the stereo. We're now going to create the output MXF file, which has the source surround track on channels 1 to 6, now loudness compliant, and the stereo that we've created is on channels 7 and 8 and also loudness compliant. An alternative might be that we need part of the audio in a Dolby digital. So here's an example of what we could do here. So in this example I'm saying I've got my standard master file format, surround on 1 to 6, stereo on 7 and 8. I make the whole thing loudness compliant. Then I'm going to do a Dolby encode of the surround on 1 to 6 and create a pair, which I've placed on 1 and 2 in this example, that contains the encoded Dolby. The stereo source continues and is still on 7 and 8, now loudness compliant. And I've muted channels 3 to 6 because those are part of a 5.1 and that would just be a confusing signal to have available on output. So at the end of all this we create an MXF file again. So channels 1 and 2 are the Dolby digital, channels 7 and 8 are the stereo. So here we have 4 examples of how we can work with a specific master file format, but making alterations based on specific requirements. Of course, many more choices are available, and we have a separate video that shows how to make the workflows like these, so that you can create other workflows that match your specific requirements. I hope this video was useful. Please contact us at Emotion Systems if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.